Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of your MLB The Show 22 franchise mode here with the Chicago Cubs as we're about to walk into our first official offseason with this team as we try to massively improve the team as we look to potentially make it into the playoffs next season. But before we get into all that, guys, I'd like to just say if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that like button as well. That'll be very much appreciated, boys. So, let's hop into this bad boy here with the Chicago Cubs. As you guys all know, in the last episode, we had a pretty long episode, obviously, but we made a lot of deals. We picked up a guy named Dylan Cease in the last episode who was, I gotta say, a really good pickup for the Chicago Cubs. It gives us another hand in our rotation, which already looks pretty deadly. I mean, once we add another guy to this rotation, I think it'll even look more deadly, and that's what we're going to be doing this offseason is really improving our rotation. I think that's definitely something that we can massively improve upon when we have Stroman, Hendricks, Cease, and Azulio. We do have Marquez coming up the pipeline and Justin Steele, but Justin Steele had a pretty rough year. Not terrible for a 19 ERA, not terrible, but I think we could definitely pick up somebody that could really make this core deadly. And if we need to trade away Kyle Hendricks a little bit later on, we can. I did like Hendricks this year, though. He was a really good rotation guy for us, second in that order, and he did really solid for the Cubs as well. And same with Cease. He was amazing during the last few games of the year. That four-seam fastball is absolutely crazy. His slider's nasty. 12-6 curve. He has some nice control and break on it. So he's going to be a nasty pitcher, I think, for the Chicago Cubs, especially with that potential. And not even just that, with our future prospect here in Kevin Parra as well. We got a pretty big, rotation starting to slowly build up here for the Cubbies. So that is an exciting part. Looking for the lineup. For the team this year, of course, we missed Nico Herner. We also lost somebody else as well, I felt. We had a few injuries near the end of the year, which was very unfortunate for us. And Descar Hernandez, and it's not just that, Nico Herner, who tore his labrum. He was out for a very long time as well. He's still on the DL list and still will be out for, another 5 to 6 months. So hopefully, we get him back in the lineup going into next year and he could stay healthy because that was a big guy that we definitely did miss, especially, later on down the order where it's like we needed those power hitters big time and we definitely did miss them immensely. So coming into this upcoming season, I think a big thing is, of course, improving our bench. Our bench was something that definitely was left to be desired for sure, like Ortega, like Clint Frazier. We did pick up Sierra as well, and Josh Naylor during free agents, but, we definitely need to improve upon our bench coming into this upcoming season. So that's definitely something we're going to be touching upon this offseason. So let's finish up the rest of the season here. So we definitely did not make it into the playoffs, of course. We already kind of seen all the stats between everyone and how, we did pretty good. Honestly, it wasn't a bad season for the Chicago Cubs. There's definitely some, room to improve with this team without a doubt. But honestly, pretty good season. And we're seeing some development in our rotation as well with, Adbert Azulio did really good near the end of the season. Same with Dylan Cease, who was absolutely red hot as well. So let's just get into the offseason. We can take a look at the playoff bracket here. You got the Chicago White Sox and Tampa Bay Rays, LA Angels and Seattle Mariners, Houston Astros as well made it in there. And then in the NL, you got the Milwaukee Brewers, Atlanta Braves, the Dodgers, the Mets, and the Philadelphia Phillies as well. So let's sim through the playoffs here and see who wins the title. The Smokies, I think that's our Double-A team, so that's awesome. They won a championship there. And the Brewers defeated the Rays in the 2022 World Series. So the Brewers, who are in our division right now, I'm pretty sure, if I'm correct. Yeah, the Brewers won the championship this year. So a team that's in our division won the championship. So definitely a team that we're going to have to, go up against most likely and become better. So that's definitely what we're going to be doing this offseason. The biggest thing, though, is we're going to be taking our time with this offseason. I think it's going to be nothing that no guys really retired off our team. No inductees in the Hall of Fame. So we're really going to be slow with this team this offseason because we want to make the right moves. We want to sign the right people. So I think bringing back Wilson Contreras, a guy that had good, good power and not just that good contact. He could bat later on down the order and could also play left field. So honestly, he's a guy that I'm willing to bring back. He had a pretty decent season, decent amount of home runs, a really good average, is 273, which I think is a career high almost for him. He was a way better batter at the start of his career, but he did really good this year. He was on base, decent amount, good slugging, and his WAR was at 4.8. So he was a really good guy for our team and was massive for us. And we have a lot of money. We have $122 million this upcoming season, so we could lock up Wilson. To a decent deal. He wants $15 million for the guy. I mean, he was an all-star guy for the team, so I think we're definitely going to have to pay him the big bucks. What we'll do is backload the contract, though, so at least we could save a little bit of money. But yeah, I think with Cochinius here, we lock him up, good 5 years. That brings him up to 35, 16 mil a year. So we'll have to pay him a little bit more near the end, but is a guy that I would like to bring back. Rosenthal, I was not a big fan of. He was just not very good. Robertson has massively dropped. He was a decent guy. Michael Givens gave us some decent numbers, but I think we're just really gonna redo the rotation a little bit. David Ross is okay. 5 mil. I mean, to buy out his contract, yeah, that'd be pretty hard. Yeah, we're gonna keep him, but fuck, we're gonna need someone with good arm strength, but we're not gonna get that out of our hitting guys. So power, bunting, Drake bunting, contact, yeah, sure. Chris Young, come on down to the team, buddy. So we'll keep David Ross, I guess, for another year, and then if not, we'll release some next year for not a good team. And then we're gonna need a good farm director here, so to get the farm squad going. We won a championship down in AA, so we want to continue that good development for the team as well. So sim a few days here. So Kevin Velasquez signs with the team. Chris Young does not. He goes off to Marlins. So we still need a hitting coach. Something that's not... Drake Bunting, clutch, play vision, power. Yeah, I like that. I know we have to deal with the Drake Bunting, but that's okay. I like to get him on the team because he does have some decent stats. So, no. So we must have got the coach then, I'm guessing. Coach contracts. So yeah, he still likes our offer, but there's some other guys offering some deals. So we got about 7 spots on our 40-man list, and we got a lot of free agents that we got to sign. That's why this episode's also probably going to be long, because we got a lot of chores that we got to do and lock up a lot of our big batters. So Ian Happ is kind of a questionable guy. I mean, he is improving his contact, so I think we definitely do keep him for a little bit while longer, just because he could be a guy that really does turn into a good batter. He was decent average this year. On-base percentage was not too bad. Slugging was decent. His WAR was 1.3, so not fantastic. So hopefully he will improve coming into this upcoming season, because his defense was improving. So we want to get Nico Herner onto the team. That means we would have to pay him $35 million. Oh, Jesus. So we might as well just get him locked up for now. Get him that $4.8 million for the next 3 years, so we don't have to worry about him. Descar Hernandez, I like to get him. Oh, my God. So 1 year at that amount. Whew, sheesh. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind signing him up for 4. Because, I mean, Descar Hernandez was a pretty good guy for us this year. So, $10 million. He's a big power hitter. That's the biggest thing out of him. He has decent contact as well. I think he'll definitely take it another step up. Once we are able to find him a good roster spot, I think Hernandez could be a really good batter for us. So, I'm going to offer him $10 million. I'm going to see if he accepts that. Nick Madrigal, great contact guy, could play really high up in the order. I think it's definitely a guy that we bring back. We could probably even get him back for dirt cheap as well, so that's going to be the nice thing, because he's also really good defensively, and I think that's the big thing that I like about Nick Madrigal, is that he's really good defensively. He's going to be a decent bat for the team as well. He had a 262 average, so he's going to be, one of our leadoff guys, basically, right? So Dylan Cease, we definitely got to bring him into the team as well. I think we're going to go dirt cheap with him too, since we're already having to pay a decent amount of, big numbered guys and have to pay him a decent amount of money. So, well, let's get him locked up for another 3 years, kind of like Nico Herner. We're going to have to pay some big boys later on down the road, but, I mean, you don't want to pay this guy massive amounts of money just yet, just in case he doesn't pan out to be what we want him to be. So 3 years, $3.7 million for Dylan Cease. So we're already paying big bucks to a lot of the players up there. Ian Happ, man, he wants big bucks too. I think 2 years is not a bad idea. Get him to $9 mil. Jesus, Murphy. So $31 million already in spent. Jesus, crikey, man. So Chris Martin, he had a really decent year. He might drop, though, is the problem with him. But if we could just get him back for another year, make up a bullpen guy, and then just pay him the $3.1 million, I think he'll come back. Roman Wick wasn't that great. Like I said, we're going to really rebuild the kind of the rotation here. So I just want Alec Mills back to a year deal. 1.4 for you. Cody Hewer, he was pretty good too. He could be another like just depth piece for the team, just a 1-year deal. Because I don't really need to lock him up for massive amounts. Josh Naylor, he was a guy that we picked up. I like to keep him as kind of a platoon guy. Can play a little bit of DH. He has really good contact, good fielder. So I think he could be someone that's pretty nice. John Hicks, I think we can find someone a little bit better for our like a backup catcher for Cotrinius. He has decent WAR, but I think we could find somebody a little bit better. Steven Brault, I don't really need to bring him back. Sierra, sign him just to a 3-year deal. I don't think that's a bad idea. Again, I'm to a cheap 3-year deal. He could be a nice kind of bench guy for us, nice bench fielder, especially with the speed, and he has decent contact as well, so not a bad idea. Robert Gilsman, so he was playing down in the minors last year, but that beat potential is something to be kind of intrigued about. He's getting a 1 year, I think, right now, because I don't want to pay him a massive amount. So Nick, this was a guy that we picked up from the Seattle Mariners in a deal because we needed a left-handed guy, but we could just let go of him, and same with Ortega. So there we go. So $44 million, especially we spent a lot of money on our bigger guys, Nico Hierner, and hopefully all these guys sign their deals. We will offer them arbitration just in case. Well, how much do we... Okay, we paid him a little bit less. Arbitration, him as well. Just in case they do, push forward. Oh my God, Hernandez. We'll go for that for you. Hernandez got a big paycheck from the Blue Jays. And, I mean, I understand he's a pretty good damn player, so... So there we go. Now, Patrick Wisdom. Yes, I definitely do think we keep him. Big power hitter last year for us. I definitely do think we keep him for as long as we possibly can. Oh my God, he doesn't really want a whole crap ton of... Get him for 4 years at... Oh my God, hell yeah. 4 years at 1.7. I think it was mostly because his average was ass, so... I mean, his vision is shit. Like, that's the biggest thing out of Wisdom, is that he's really good defensively. He can hit bombs. It's just his vision is absolutely horrible at the plate. So, if we could get him for dirt cheap, I wouldn't mind that. Does not have MLB service time to be eligible for... Okay, yeah. So, oh, man. So, we could walk up Swindle as well for dirt cheap. So, I think we do 4 years, and we just get him for 1.1. Yeah, fuck yeah, why not? Alberto Zulio, same with you. We could lock you up for a good 4 years at a cheap deal. And we want to get as many guys as we can, the cheap deals, so we can spend a decent amount of money this free agency. Steele, I just want you as cheap as we possibly could get you. 2 years at $600K. Marquez, get you locked up for 3 years at a cheap deal. I would love that. $600K for you as well. Alantro, he might be ready to go next year. Just the thing is, he's not a great contact hitter, nor is he a great power hitter. So it kind of concerns me. He's great defensively, but is he going to be a guy that will be able to, use for the future of the team? But we will lock him up to a decent deal and just have him on the team ready to go just in case. Killian... Eric Yardley, just sign him as a depth piece. I wouldn't mind just bringing him back in for a year. Sign him for dirt cheap. Davis. 100K a year for Davis. Man, baseball players get paid like dirt for when they're in the minors. Like, my lord. Never really expected that. Well, I mean, I seen the other day where like some minor leaguers got paid and they got paid like what was it, like $500 or whatever, and they haven't been paid in like months or whatever. It's kind of fucking crazy. Kind of crazy, like the amount of money they just don't get paid. Espinonzo. Man, we gotta pay a lot of people here. Sign some of these guys to just get some people on contracts so we're not having to sign the whole depth core again. Shed Along Jr. That's a pretty funny name. Shed Along Jr. Another B potential guy that we gotta lock up. Oh, geez. He wanted a lot of money. I don't know why, but get him onto the deal. Oh, he just wants 700K. All right, yeah, he wants 780. Sure. We'll lock you up for 5 years, then we don't have to worry about you. Okay, so there we go. So about $56 million have been spent, right? Yeah, $56 million. Let's put us in a position where we only have about $50 million to spend. So no whole crap ton. So basically with the team, right now we need another rotation guy because I don't think Marquez will be ready yet to go into next year. He could probably be like a late relief guy where we throw him in for a few games or whatever. Maybe he does crack into the rotation, and if he does, then we could trade away Kyle Hendricks if need be. But I think for right now, we want to be staying patient with Marquez, and we still have time. The bullpen needs a massive improvement. I think we're only really bringing back Chris Martin and Cody, who are going into next year. We're not bringing back Holder. We're not bringing back Roman Wick, so we need a new closer. We just need a new bullpen just in general. Backup catcher, Swindle and Naylor, Hewer and Marichal. We'll call up Hewer up to the MLB because that's where he should be. Wisdom. We don't have a shortstop, but we've been doing Herner as the shortstop, Marichal as second base, and then Wisdom as third base. Now, we could upgrade in our first base and just make Swindle the full-time DH. So maybe we can upgrade it in the first baseman, get someone that has really good power, because we definitely do need to upgrade in the power department where we actually have like a really good power hitter that has some decent vision. And so I think maybe we even try Davis going into next year. I like his contact, his field, and his ass, so that's the biggest thing. But then you got Magneuris Sierra as well. But usually you have Ian Happ, Hernandez, and Suzuki, and then Sierra and Davis could be the bench guys going into this upcoming season. So really, you just need to kind of fill out a few areas for the team. So let's see what we can do. So starting pitching, now we don't need anybody that's going to be super expensive. Just some guy to bring in that is a left-handed guy like a Sean Manaea. 4.61 ERA. He had a really bad season with the Padres. We just need a left-handed guy, someone that's, not ridiculously expensive, but not too old. Yeah, we're kind of dropping down. So, I mean, a Sean Manaea wouldn't be a bad idea, but $11 million. So it's almost would be understandable to go with James Paxton, but he might drop. Is there anybody available that we could, like, I know we can't really make a deal right now, right? Kind of, because we don't have a lot of players to trade away in general anyways, but yeah, it's kind of a tough situation. There's not a whole lot of left-handed guys going into next year. I mean, we do already have a left-handed guy, and no, actually we don't. We have all right-handers. The only left-handed guy we did have was Justin Steele. Damn, bro. Okay. So, yeah, we could give a contract to Sean Manaea. He already has one there from the San Diego Padres. We just have to pay him a whole crap ton. Either that or we bring in James Paxton or we bring in Mike Minor. But I really don't want to do that. So I think Sean Manaea wouldn't be a bad idea. We might just have to backload the contract. And if we get him to a 4-year deal, lock him up to 12.5. Actually, we might just even just go, yeah, we might as well just go normal. So it'd be $50 million for 4 years at $12.5 million for Sean Manaea. He'd be coming into a team where he would be a pretty useful guy for the team. So I will give Sean Manaea that. We do have a little bit more leverage than what the San Diego Padres do. So I think Sean Manaea could be a really good hand, honestly. Struggled last year with the San Diego Padres, and I think we can make him a decent pitcher here in here in Chicago. So now we need to massively improve our bullpen. That's definitely something that we need to kind of improve. Bring in someone that's going to be a massive guy for the team. So Newball had 39 saves at 3.75 ERA. That's not bad. Kenley Jansen, but I'm guessing he's going to want a crap ton. He doesn't. That's not too bad. Blake Treinen as well, 2.69 ERA. Kubel already has a big offer. Kenley Jansen, 35. Treinen. To see him away from the Dodgers might not be a bad idea. He actually played for the Dodgers and actually had a pretty good... Yeah, fuck it. Let's just sign him to a 2-year deal. Oh, he wants to come to a contender. How about Jensen? He wants to go to a contender. Newble wants to be in a contender. Edwin Diaz. He kind of struggled. Doesn't want to be with a contender, but wants big bucks. Screw it. Let's try to bring in Treinen. We might have to overpay a little bit, but 2 years for a big-time closer in Treinen is not a bad idea. He will definitely be our closing guy without a doubt. So if we could get him at $7.5 million for Blake Treinen, welcome to the team, buddy. If we can get you, of course. And then we're probably going to have to go a little bit cheaper with our bullpen, honestly. Because we're bringing him back. And then Robert Gilsman. We'll definitely be using him this year. So we already got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 with that. We went with, what, 5 last year? If I'm correct on that, because we went with Hewer and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then plus the late relief guys. So we already got, what is it now? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we just need one more bullpen guy. I mean, 2 would be ideal, but we need a left-handed guy without a doubt. Will Smith, decent ERA, not fantastic, but Trevor May. Brad Hand is a left-handed guy, 33 years of age, 375. Oh, that's not bad. Because what is Trevor Hand wanting to get? 4.6. What about Will Smith? Will Smith's not asking for a whole lot. Get him for 3 years. Lock up another bullpen guy for the team. Will Smith has some decent stats. His home runs per 9 and his walks per 9 is not great, but his Ks per 9 and his hits per 9 is pretty good. Has a pretty good fastball. Slider's not too bad. Curveball. He has some decent break on it as well. Yeah, Will Smith. Bring him in as well. Yeah, so 3 big guys. Manaea, Treinen, and Will Smith now. I mean, if we could get someone that's, like, down here, like a 77 overall, I wouldn't be complaining about that either. So, Boxberger, Whistler. How much does Whistler want? Ooh, fuck. Sean Doolittle, another left-handed guy, 280. He's just 36 years of age. That's the problem. He's a little bit older. Luke Jackson got some pretty fast stuff. Decent ERA. I don't want to pay you $5 million. Jesus. Velez, 4.05 ERA. Red Sox are giving him another deal. We're making you a bullpen guy. There we go. Okay, so $82 million have already been spent, and now it's just mostly our bullpen. So I think we stay patient, see what we can get out of everyone, because we have just spent a lot of money. We couldn't get our hitting coach again because he keeps choosing other fucking teams. Sure, we'll sign this guy. Be nice if we were able to get our guy here. So did we get our guys? So Sean Manaea has signed with the team. So now our rotation's looking really good. You got Stroman, Hendricks, Cease, Manaea, and Azulio with Marquez coming up the pipeline. And then also Kevin Parra. That is pretty sick right there, if you ask me. That's a really good rotation that we're getting going here. So for the bullpen, we got Martin, Cody Hewer, Velez, and Gilsman. And then Treinen. We don't have Wick still. We could bring in Wick, but honestly, Wick didn't pitch a whole lot last year. Honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea. Give us another hand. Fuck it. Yeah, why not? Oh, he's asking for dirt cheap anyways. Fuck yeah. 2.2 for sure. For sure. So everybody else has not really signed any of their deals. Like, we have not gotten any of the arbitration. Oh, we have got Nico Herner signed to the team. Azulio still hasn't signed his deal. Oh, decent contact. Really good vision. Might as well bring him into the team for a year. Probably will be a depth guy. All right. So, with Nico Herner now signed into the team, he signed that big $4.8 million deal. So, now we got our rotation. Now we got our bullpen with Martin, Hewer, Felez, and then Trennan and Wick. So, that'll be 5 right there. We have a decent now, because that's what we'll probably be going with our bullpen, right? Trennan, why the fuck does it have our Manet all the way over here? So yeah, Trennan, Martin, Wick, Mills is the late relief guy, Hewer, Felez, because we'll be going with Trennan, Martin, Wick, Hewer, and Felez, and then Mills is the late relief guy. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, we'll definitely need some depth guys. Like I said, I wanted a kind of a home run guy that we're not going to have to pay major amounts of bucks for first base. Because we could definitely use someone like that. Miguel Sano. 75 overall, though. He's 29 years of age, so he could develop 32 home runs last year. We definitely need, you know, a big power hitter. Right? Because that's what kind of we need to improve. Ronette Odor. 22 home runs. Fucking strikes out a ton. Because, I mean, you could go with Max Muncy, but that's too expensive. Jose Abreu is kind of an interesting guy because he has good contact, smacks the ball a lot. The problem is he just might drop, right? That's the problem with him. But you get him to a year deal. You lock him up. He could be your dedicated DH guy in Abreu. You got Jesus Aguilar as well. Anthony Rizzo, decent contact, really good vision at the plate. This is another guy that could be a really good guy for us. I mean, we could use another big contact guy with decent vision. He could even smack some home runs. I think Anthony Rizzo I'm kind of leaning to because he has really good vision. It's either that or you go after Josh Bell here. But I'm kind of leaning towards Rizzo. Oh, he was a former Cubby too. Yeah, he was a former Cubby. Rizzo was a Cubby legend. So yeah, fuck it. Let's bring him back to the Chicago Cubs here. Let's bring back Mr. Rizzo. We'll just sign him to a year deal. Get him locked up to an $8 million deal. See if we could outbid the Yankees. So we'll give him an $8.3 million for 1 year. So we're giving him a little bit more money than you know they are. So I think that's what we really need for depth, right? Because right now our MLB roster would be, I guess we could just take a look at the lineup here. Herner in the lineup. And then Hernandez back in the lineup. Right, so we already got Davis. Then we picked up, what's his face? Rizzo. Rizzo could play either first or, where's our, Josh Naylor as well, going to be a bench guy with Davis. Then we could probably need some extra depth, but I think someone's sent down already, if I'm correct. So, yeah, Naylor will be up for sure. Great contact guy. I think he'll be a pretty good player for us next year. David Boat we can use as well coming up this year. Good defensive guy. Decent contact, especially if we need a good defensive guy to back us up. So, we already got Naylor, Boat. Either that or we could call up a launch up, but David Boat will be a better hitter. Probably another, I mean, Sierra and Davis will be depth guys. I'm just really trying to think about what we want to do. Yeah, we need a backup catcher as well. So Davis and Sierra we got in those two guys. So those will be the backup fielders. And then we're bringing in another guy. Actually, we really don't even need anybody else, quite honestly. Let's hope that we get our guys here. So Rizzo and them are still thinking about the deals. So Rizzo, their guy did sign. I think it was the bullpen guy, right? Will Smith. Finally, he did sign with the team. So this is a really deep-looking pitching core with Smith, Martin, Hewer, Velez, and then you got Trennan, and now Wick probably signed with the team. He still hasn't signed either. So really good-looking bullpen here for the team. So I'm really liking the way that we're developing that together right now. We do need another backup catcher too. Or we're definitely spending some money, but we still have a decent amount of budget too. That's the thing. Like we could even go out there and get more of an expensive player if we really wanted to do something like that. Something that's good defensively is kind of what I'm thinking about. Gary Sanchez, that'd be kind of just killer. Get someone that's really good at home runs. I'm looking to get someone that's really good defensively. Barnhart, sure. Man, you want a lot of money. Holy crow. We're just looking for someone that's a depth guy. Fielding, his arm sucks. Molina's dropping like a wildfire. Yeah, I think we might as well just keep Hicks. He does a decent arm, so. Sign him for dirt cheap. Then I don't have to worry about him. We might as well bring this Nick guy back in too, just a one-year deal. So yeah, some guys that we definitely do need to add to the 40-man list is Gilsman. And then that prospect in Killian. But honestly, we still need to leave 2 spots open, or 1 spot open for Rizzo. So I think we're just going to leave it with 38. Okay. So we're still waiting on a few guys to sign up some deals. Then Roman Wick. Hopefully Roman Wick and John Hicks signs. So we'll see. Same with Rizzo. Hopefully Rizzo signs as well. These guys gonna fucking sign with me? Also we could no, I don't want to do a trade. Bring in an extra shortstop just as like a depth guy. Alvis Andrus. Shortstop, 243, decent defensively. Even if he's not up in the major leagues, then at least we could have a guy that just in case we, we need to call up or whatever, we could do something like that. All right, well, let's continue on the simulation here as we're getting pretty deep into the video, but we're going to try to finish off this off season here because, I mean, might as well not stop. I mean, we're on a pretty good pace right now. So Max Muncy ending up in the Diamondbacks, so that's pretty intimidating there. So we'll pass that. Rogers going to the Blue Jays, so the Rogers improved their bullpen a little bit more. So how many players do we have right now on our roster? Well, it's actually pretty filled up. Yeah, it is pretty filled up, but we'll sign some depth guys to the team. Some of the younger guys that we could just get back for dirt cheap and fill up the roster. That's why I wanted to leave a little bit of money. I was playing a franchise mode by myself, and I accidentally spent a little too much money in free agency and ended up not being able to sign any depth players for the team. So, like, my AAA and everything like that was just gone. Just gone. Man, Clayton Kershaw is still out there, man. I mean, that would be a killer pickup, but the amount of money we would have to give up, like, we would have nothing left. Like, nothing left. And that's mostly because we've already paid some big guys already like that, so everyone signed with the team. So basically, we're basically ready to go for this upcoming season, quite honestly. I think we did get Alec Mills back on the team, right? Yeah, just for a depth guy, Marquez. Um, but we got a decent looking team here coming along here, man. I mean, we're definitely going to have to sign some depth players, of course. That's without a doubt. But honestly, I am quite liking what we got going here with the Chicago Cubbies. And we got some really good development coming in, and we're gonna have another really good draft coming up here soon too as well. So we got some really things coming good and coming along here for the Chicago Cubs that are making me pretty excited. So let's continue on and get to the winter meetings here, and into the Rule 5 draft. So Rule 5 draft, let's jump into it. Let's see if we can find anything sick. Guessing probably not, but you never know. So starting pitchers there. I mean, we just seen Kirby Yates. Oh, I mean, we just have Trennan. I mean, that would make our rotation killer. I'm thinking. I'll come back to that. I will come back to that. Seeing if we could use anybody for this, like, roster right now. Not really. But for Kirby Yates. Kirby Yates kind of makes it interesting because I know he's dropped a little bit in overall, but it's still a hates per 9, Ks per 9. His walks per 9 is not terrible. He's a little bit of an older guy, but 1 year at 4.4, I don't think he can beat that. Like, fuck, why not, man? Right? Why not? I don't think there's anybody else that was interesting, so we'll save the rest of the draft. So now we'll have Kirby Yates in the roster, so that means, you know, someone like probably a Roman Wick or Velez will most likely be sent down going into next year. But that's fine by me. That's shit's supposed to happen like that. So Joey Gallo ended up in the Washington Nationals, and then Tim Anderson ended up with the Mariners. I mean, we could sign somebody, do another contract here, see if we could get anybody else, but honestly, I don't think we're going to need anybody else right now. Like, how much? We got $28 million in our budget. That's pretty good. Like, we definitely, I think we can stay patient with what we got right now in money, because we're going to have to deal with some more payments going into next year. So I think we stay patient, go to the renewable contracts. You know, we're going to sim rate the spring training, which is where we will stop at in this episode. Is now we are done with the off season. We are in officially spring training mode. So we're definitely going to do a lot of roster management. We definitely need to sign a lot of players too to fill up the AAA and all that sort of stuff as well. So we definitely got a lot of homework that we got to do with the team. But honestly, you know, looking up and down this roster, we do have some really good players. Anthony Rizzo, one of them, going to be a really good first baseman. We got 3 solid first basemen in Naylor, Swindle, and Anthony Rizzo as well. So Marichagal and Herner. And then you got Patrick Wisdom. Nothing for shortstops, but we did pick up Andrus, Ian Happ, Sierra, and Davis. And then you got Hernandez and Suzuki as well. So decent looking team here for the Chicago Cubs going into the next episode. I'm pretty excited to see how well this team will do this year. We didn't do like a massive amounts. Like, the biggest thing that we definitely did improve was our bullpen, picking up Trennan and Yates, picking up Will Smith, and then also adding Sean Manaea to the squad as well. So we definitely improved like the rotation a lot for sure. Like, that is definitely something that is massively improved upon. Same with our bullpen. So I think going into next year, I think it's going to be really exciting to see how well this team will do. Our power is still really weak, but we got great contact, great pitching. I think it's going to be a really competitive division this year. So I'm going to end the episode here, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next episode as we try to make it back to the postseason here with the Chicago Cubs. But I'm going to end it here, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.